Are you ready for your warrior? Are you ready to allow your warrior to support you in your growth into this unknown experience, this unknown journey, in allowing you to be here more, the growth of you? Are you ready to activate your warrior? Are you ready to move into your heart? This video will help us take a big step forward in creating more authenticity and bring so much consciousness, so much self-awareness into this unknown exploration of ourselves, this uncharted territory where we emerge, where we face all the things that we need to face, that we don't know about ourselves, that we move through all the traumas, that we move through all the conditioning, all the falseness to get to the truth. Let me ask you this. When was the last time that you did something really hard? And it doesn't have to be physical, but especially physical. And what was the hardest thing that you've done in your life? Physically, mentally, emotionally. What's the hardest thing that you've been through? Activating your warrior is doing the hard things. There are probably infinite ways to activate your warrior. The warrior comes when we need support, when we need strength, when we need to move through a difficult experience. The warrior comes and the warrior is there for us. Building strength, building connection to our warrior is accomplished by doing hard things. In traditional cultures, they do a rite of passage where a child of age moves through a certain experience over a number of days where they're doing really hard things. And some of them don't survive. That's traditional cultures, mind you. And in our culture, in some areas, we do a rite of passage where we challenge ourselves to move into the next phase of our life. And it doesn't have to be becoming a man or a woman, although especially that's a beautiful time. The rite of passage is an experience where we acknowledge ourselves and where we're at, and that we're choosing to go into a new experience. This video is a rite of passage. This video is an opportunity for you to take the next step into your unknown, into this experience of receiving more of yourself. And I'm going to provide you with 5 things to do to not only activate your warrior, but to give your warrior acknowledgement on a daily basis. Number 1, cold. A cold shower, sticking your ice in a cup or a basin of cold water, putting your face in ice, get like a bowl, have some water, have some ice, and just put your face in it. See how long you can be with the ice. See how long you can be with the cold in the cold shower. So this could be a gradual process. It could be that you just splash water on your face, that you just, when you're in the shower, you're putting the water on your hands just to kind of build a relationship with the cold. That could be challenging for you. And then gradually expose yourself. It could be that you go into a waterfall. It could be that you go into a lake, a river or a stream where you're getting exposed to the temperature, which those natural bodies of water are usually much colder than a pool, for example. So cold and a progression, not it could be just going for it and jumping in. It could also be they have an ice plunge. Have you ever done an ice plunge? They have lots of different types of cold therapy where you can go into a barrel filled with ice and water. They have ice barrels. They have I forget the name of it right now. I think they just call it an ice plunge, where you're lying down instead of being vertical. And they have places now where it's like a cold spa. They do cold treatments. They have these looks like a telephone booth, and you go in. It's bigger than a telephone booth, and you go in and you're in there. It's really cold. It's like minus 200 degrees or something like that, and you're in there for a certain amount of time, usually 1 to 3 minutes. So lots of different challenges. So that's cold. That's challenging yourself with cold. Number 2 is to challenge yourself with exercise. And so we're meeting ourselves where we're at here. So for some people, doing a push-up could be really hard. So for me, what's challenging for me, I've learned how to do a one-handed push-up. So doing a regular push-up isn't really challenging. So doing a one-handed push-up, learning how to do a one-arm push-up, that was challenging for me, and I'm still working on that. I can do it. I can only do 1 or 2. So now I'm working on getting stronger with that. So you get an idea of, and there's lots of different progressions. You can click on YouTube, you can see lots of different progressions of doing a push-up. That's hard. And also progressing to a one-arm push-up, but you can learn how to do squats using your body weight, a body weight squat versus a loaded squat with weights versus a one-legged squat. So there's exercise in general, running, swimming, cycling. I mean, you name it, whatever type of exercise you want to do, you can challenge yourself there and progress and find someone who's a master at it and that can teach you, help you progress, whether it's on YouTube or in person. Number 3, food. Trying different types of food as a form of a challenge. So for some people, they have an aversion to certain types of food, not from an allergetic standpoint, from just by taste. So heat, for example, not that you want to torture yourself, but hot foods, spicy, I mean, not burning yourself, but hot foods. So putting a lot of cayenne pepper, hot peppers, curry, spicing up your food, give it a little bit of heat. And that can be a little bit challenging, not to torture yourself again, but you'll be surprised how your body adapts to that. And it is a bit challenging because it's hot. And you can also challenge yourself with sweet foods, sweet vegetables, sweet potato, for example, squash, butternut squash, carrots. There's different foods that have a sweetness to them that can be challenging for some people. Sour, another one. So you're getting where I'm coming from. Just explore all the different tastes and challenge yourself there. And believe it or not, that's really healthy to challenge all your tastes and see where you're at with that and continue to explore that. It's really healthy for your body. Number 4, emotional challenging. Now, how can you challenge yourself emotionally? Everybody's different. So my offering here is to actually recognize your feelings. So some of us, myself at one time, was very much numb. And so my feelings, if I did have them, were really hard to come by. I could know when I'm angry, and beyond that, it was really hard for me to know anything else. What I've learned in that process of becoming more honest with my feelings and more available for my feelings is to give myself lots of space And what I mean by that is that there's a certain, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 2 minutes, where I'm spending a certain amount of time just by myself, completely alone, in a safe place. So that could be out in nature, or it could be in your house, but you want to have space, and you're just with yourself. You're just with yourself. Your eyes could be open, your eyes could be closed, and you're just noticing your body. You're looking at your hands, palms, back of your hands. You look at yourself in the mirror, or you can just look at your body. You just look at your body and you just start to pay attention, and you can touch your body if that feels comfortable. The more that you connect with your body by looking, by touching, feeling your face, just feeling all the parts of your body. It's almost like you're checking if you're in your body. Are you there? Am I in my body? Checking, touching, looking, feeling your body. That helps to build feelings. Helps you acknowledge your feelings. And just by doing that, some of you may feel emotion. And so the challenge is, first of all, to do what I'm just explained, but also to be with the emotion. Be with the emotion is there. Lots of times we run from the emotion. We've learned to push the emotion down or try to get away from it. Distract ourselves with our phones and TV and radio and whatever. We try to avoid it. So the challenge is to be with your feelings. Be honest about how you're feeling. And another level of that is to actually tell somebody that you trust how you're feeling. Being honest with where you're at. Number 5, breathing. Doing breath work is extremely challenging for anybody. There's always a level of resistance in my experience. I've done a lot of breath work. And my understanding is even that people that do breath work all the time, there is a level of resistance. There is a challenge for that person. And there is hundreds of different types of breath work. So whatever type of breath work you resonate with, I have a couple very simple offerings. One is to breathe in with your eyes open and exhale with your eyes closed. And you do that for 5 times, and the breath can be relatively slow to moderate, so it'd be looking like this. And you do that 5 times, and then after you exhale, on the 5th breath, you hold your breath. So if this was the 5th breath, you let your air out and you hold your breath, and you just start to count, and you start to pay attention to your desire to breathe. When you feel the desire to breathe, and please, I'm encouraging you to do this standing, but I'm wanting you also to do it where you have something, maybe like a wall behind you or just something. I just don't want you to lose your balance. You could be holding on to something. If some of you have some health challenges with this, do this sitting. You'll get more out of it standing. Though you'll get more out of it standing because your body will want to know where you're at. And if you start to breathe and you start to hold your breath, your body's just going to be like, oh my God, he's holding his breath and he's standing. We really need to pay attention so he doesn't fall over and hurt himself. So you'll start to feel this desire to breathe. You start to feel this desire of, okay, there's not that much oxygen. I'm losing oxygen. I need to breathe. So that desire to breathe, get a sense of that and see your sensitivity to that. So obviously, again, these exercises are not for torture. They're for challenging yourself and building up strength. So what I'm asking you to do with this particular exercise is to practice your relationship with the discomfort and the challenge of holding your breath and feeling the craving for oxygen. And just see what your level of discomfort is with that and how long you can hold your breath, just as a point of reference to measure it. The one other thing that for breath work that you can do, this one is done lying down, and your eyes could be open, your eyes could be closed. And so what you're doing is you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you're breathing, You see if there's how long it takes, and I promise you this will happen. You just need to be consistent. See how long it takes, set a timer. Start with 5 minutes, start with 10 minutes, whatever you want. Do it as long as you want, where you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. See how long it takes for your body to become automatic with it. So where it's automatic, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not even trying anymore and I'm just going. At some point, your body will turn into automaticity and the breathing will start to happen on its own, and you'll just be like, oh my gosh, I'm breathing and I'm not trying. There'll be resistance in that process. And the value of the breathing in that way that I'm teaching you, you'll start to separate from the frontal lobe of your brain. Not that you'll lose your mind necessarily, but you'll lose that like thinking part of you for a little bit of time. Usually around the time that you become automatic with your breath, you've disconnected from you like analyzing everything. And so you get a respite from there. Breathwork is also really powerful in helping you let go of stress, especially this one I'm teaching you right now. So I recommend starting with 5 minutes and then seeing usually in 5 minutes, you might at the end of 5 minutes start to feel the automaticity kick in. Usually it's usually longer, like 10 minutes or somewhere in between 5 and 10 minutes that it kicks in, especially with the beginners. Thank you so much for being here with me and taking all this in. Activating your warrior is such a beautiful experience. It really will give you so much more strength and perseverance with whatever comes down the pike in your life. So much love. Thank you.